Ah, next door. Long time no see. I wish it were longer. I swear, I feel like Rod Serling when it comes to next door. Let me just channel him for a little bit. Submitted for your approval. Victoria Miller and Barbie McNews, two Karens who felt the need to falsely accuse Miley of being anti-LGBT, when in actuality, all Miley was doing was responding to a post regarding a cat who was maliciously poisoned by a neighbor. All Miley did was mention a couple who had buried two cats like it was nothing. They used to have six, now they only had one. And they just happened to be a lesbian couple. That's all she said. But these two Karens decided to turn it into something else and try to falsely accuse Miley of being anti-LGBT. Even though there's a good chance, albeit an immense one, that Barbie and Victoria are bigoted themselves, and all of this is just a front to cover their own backsides. in all seriousness, Barbie and Victoria completely deviated from the subject in order to attack Miley and falsely accuse her of things. And not only did they deviate, they didn't know anything about the couple, because they didn't know anything about the couple. I mean, why would they just jump to the conclusion that they jumped to when it's immensely false? All Miley was doing was mentioning a cat that had been poisoned by some horrible human being. I mean, seriously, who would do that to an animal? But that's all Miley did was mention that a cat was being maliciously poisoned. And all of a sudden, Victoria and Barbie turn it into something else. They were pretending like they're big time allies. If Victoria and Barbie are LGBT allies, then I'm Kale McCarr, and you don't see a Conn Smythe trophy in my room, do you? but yeah, it's just horrible that the conclusions that they jump to. And just like everything with Nextdoor, it gets crazier. Check out who actually liked the post. Bambi L, a Nextdoor mod. Why am I not surprised? A Nextdoor mod actually liking bullying posts. Must be Dale Wiley. But there's more, because there are two more people who feel it necessary to deviate from the subject and turn it into something else. Take a look at this. Kevin Gordon and Nancy Roberts with the false accusations. And Nancy Roberts is part of Nextdoor's review team. Nextdoor mods and the toxicity. It never ends. And neither does the insanity from the Nextdoor people. Check this out. So this Tom O'Meara Joker deviates from the subject by shaming. Why you let your cats go on other people's property? Read the room, Tom. Somebody intentionally poisoned the cat. Yet the only thing on Tom's mind is the cat was on someone else's property. Why did they let that happen? Good God. And he goes on all sorts of tangents about leash laws and basically promoting animal cruelty. It's just absolutely hideous what this character's saying. And of course, he's also with the review team. And of course, his stuff's been reported, and no surprise, NextDoor did nothing about it. Amazing. You know, I'm a little bit extra ornery about that because I'm a Colorado Avalanche fan. I'm used to this. I'm used to it's kind of different, but it's not, because in a recent game, not last night's game, but the game before that, one of our players was on the receiving end of a dirty hit to the head. It was very dirty. He ended up leaving the game. He didn't play last night because of that hit. He's day to day. Did anything happen to the player who delivered that dirty hit? No. Was he suspended? No. Fined? No. Not even penalized. He should have got 5 minutes major and 10-minute misconduct. But because it was an Avalanche player he hit, it's just fine and dandy. I'm used to this. When Colorado Avalanche players on the receiving end of dirty hits, the National Hockey League and player safety just sits on their hands and does absolutely nothing. When NextDoor mods act like jackasses and spread toxicity, it gets reported, but NextDoor does absolutely nothing about it. It's awful how they continuously pander to toxic mods. NextDoor, as in the words of the great Santana, Lord knows you got to change.